everybody, Royalivi here, back with episode 2 of season 2 of the Sorare Road to Glory, and with the MLS gearing up to kick off this weekend, I thought I'd take a look at my scouting videos from back in November and see how much money I would have made you if you'd listened to me and bought these players. And I've got to tell you, a lot of these players have gone up quite a bit in value, so you know what, if you didn't listen to me then I don't know, I guess you owe me an apology or something. I'm clearly goated on the sticks when it comes to MLS trading, so let's take a look and compare some prices from my MLS scouting videos now that we're heading in to the start of the season this weekend. So I'll make two teams out of the players from my video, a threshold team and an America Rare team. So for the threshold team, we'll go with Jonathan Bond, Sean Nealis, Paxton Pomykal, Benji Kaganovich and we'll lob Kiri Shelton in there as our extra player for good measure. Now on the screen above these players, I will put the prices of these cards back in November when I fucking told you to go out and buy them. And now, if you look below the cards, we'll put their current prices and I mean, fuck man, look at the price hike on a lot of these players. Let's just say, as a threshold team, we would use a common goalkeeper, so we'll ignore Jonathan Bond in goal. So a team like this, back in November, would have cost about 0.14 Ethereum, close to £300 for all these outfielders. Not bad, definitely a capable team of hitting that second threshold most weeks. You'd probably win your Ethereum back fairly soon into the MLS season, but now, you're looking at 0.6 Ethereum for the same 4 outfielders, closer to £1,200. And as I say, that's without Jonathan Bond in goal, who went up from 0.17 Ethereum to 0.5 Ethereum. And then if we take this further and look at a more competitive team that we could have bought back in November to put into America Rare, Yarborough, Danny Wilson, Zella Ryan, Martinez and then Kai Wagner in our extra spot, this team comes in at a grand total of 0.575 Ethereum, a little over £1,000 back in November, so definitely not cheap by any stretch, but you know, definitely a competitive team that would compete for rewards each week. And same again, let's take a look at their prices heading into the current season, and it's just insanity how much these players have risen in value Ethereum wise. Yarborough alone would now cost more than this whole team would back in November, with the team coming in at a grand total of 1.88 Ethereum, about £3,500 right now. So all in all, if you'd bought the threshold team and the America Rare team I've just gone through, they'd have cost 1.1 Ethereum back in November, about £2,400, and now you're looking at these two teams being worth 3 Ethereum, about £6,000, meaning if you listen to me, the main man, myself, Royalivi, I could have made you over £3,500, a pretty good investment I would have to say for sure. And I think it just goes to show that I'm clearly a trading god. Like and subscribe for more top tier trading tutorials. But no, for real, everyone in the MLS has hiked up in value at a load in the last few months. A lot of players have similar price graphs to the players I've just shown you, and you have to start thinking if this will be an indicator for player prices of European players heading towards the end of the season come April and May. Will these European players be at their lowest value during the last month or two of their season like they were with MLS players? A bit more difficult to tell with the European players, as you'd have to factor in the higher popularity of the league, as well as there being more cards and options available on the market as opposed to just the MLS, for example. But you know, history does not lie, and based off the MLS price trends in recent months, I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on the European market towards the end of the season. Obviously, Ethereum prices and the increase of onboarded users that could potentially happen over the coming months could affect things, but you know, definitely food for thought when thinking in terms of investing and playing the market a bit. But enough of talking about what a trading guru I am, let's take a look at my recent SoFi results. Gameweek 244, despite having a common goalkeeper, the AZ lads managed to pull out a smashing 4-1 win. We hit that second threshold, Pavlidis came through with some goals for me finally. I think the first goals he's actually scored since I signed him back before Christmas, for fuck's sake, so that's nice. Martin's Indy popped up with a late assist to ensure there was no need to worry about any Optus scares, so overall a successful excursion into All-Star Rare. The special weekly, however, not so successful. My Heartbreak team was ravaged by Corona. This meant Rennie Sweet missed out on the match as I expected, and Starman Dario Tadic was benched. And you know, if we check the leaderboard, 86 managers got a reward, and I was only 42 points shy of hitting that mark. So on another week, Rennie Sweet starts in net, and Dario Tadic starts up top, and perhaps influences the game a bit more. So a bit of a kick in the teeth there, but what can you do in the world of the coronavirus? At least my new limited stack did well. 290 points is quite decent here, considering the two teams involved were playing each other. A great all-round score there from Brooks. It just gives me confidence that on another week this team could be successful in winning me some rewards. Game week 245 was then a makeshift lineup for the midweek game week. I bought in Gillard last minute so I had a team to compete, but it turns out Gillard didn't even start, and Parks didn't start, Acosta didn't start, and Shiny Ashiki didn't even make the squad, which, you know, honestly no surprise as he's fucking shit. Anyone who's followed my channel for some time knows that by now, so unfortunately Benchwarmers FC this week did not win me anything. And then heading into game week 246, I had to juggle around the rare squads a bit as Mitso was out suspended, which I only found out thanks to this kind individual on Twitter. So thanks S. John, I had Jurgen Hell and my New Zealand Fleming signing make up the spots in my Gas 4 team instead. But then, disaster struck, and due to Storm Eunice, the Fortuna Sittard game got postponed. Now originally the game was supposed to be going ahead as planned, but at 9:55 AM on the Friday we got the worst possible news, and that was that the pre-match DJ had been cancelled. And at this point you have to ask, what is the point in the game even going ahead if the pre-match DJ can't drop some sick beats on us? And over in the Netherlands, they agreed, and at 11:30 AM, half an hour after the game week submission deadline, the Fortuna Sittard game was postponed. Now obviously that fucked my Gas 4 team up, and I had big confidence in Fleming and Fortuna for the upcoming weeks. Looking at their fixture list, they've got 3 of the bottom 4 coming up and are on a 2-match winning streak, so a good chance of them getting some decent results and hopefully seeing Fleming rise in price a bit. I got him for 0.27 Ethereum, somewhat below recent market value, so a couple of goals in the coming matches from him to shoot Fortuna out of the relegation zone could see his price spike in my opinion. So yeah, this game cancellation was a real kick in the balls. Now originally I had 196 points in Gas for this game week, but there's 3 things you can guarantee on this planet, and that's death, taxes, and Opta messing around with the So5 scores. Obviously Opta watched my last episode of the Sorare Road to Glory series where, long story short, they fucked me by robbing me of a Sugawara assist. Clear as day. I think this is Opta making a personal apology to me, as this game week they bumped up Martin's Indy score just enough to put me over that first threshold by half a point. So you know what, Opta? I forgive you. We are even Stevens, 1-1. You've bagged me an extra 20 quid this week. I just wish Fleming had played, as, basically would have been guaranteed to hit that second threshold. But hey, all things considered, happy to hit the first threshold here. I then got around 260 points in both All-Star and Challenger Limited. Not really enough to be competing for the rewards that we want, unfortunately. Both Frankfurt and Wolfsburg lost. I'm hoping I'm not cursed and that every time I buy a new striker they go on a scoring drought as Bora. Bore? I got told I was pronouncing his name wrong last video, but either way, Bore is yet to score since my signing of him, so fingers crossed I'm not a bad omen for these players for fuck's sake and that they pick up their form a bit. And then in Challenger Rare, we actually managed to score a very respectable 320 points when you consider that TSV Hartberg lost 2-0. Rennie Sweet proving his worth here as a sweeper keeper with a very decent 61 points considering the scoreline. Same with Sonleitner scoring 67 points, a 32 all-round score there is very nice. And then the Capitano, the GOAT, aka my boy Yukinara Sugawara, came in with a tidy 82 score thanks to a cheeky assist in yet another AZ win. And they are really smashing it at the moment in the Eredivisie, lots of wins and a good run of form there. Sugawara is proving to be a key player for them right now when you look at his recent So5 scores, and at this point I was praying that 320 points would be enough to win me a reward, as the minimum points needed is usually around that ballpark. But this game week, thanks to a few more rewards on offer and some cancellations in the Eredivisie, 320 points turned out to be enough. Happy fucking days, we bagged a tier 3 reward. It got a bit squeaky bum time towards the end of the game week, but the lads did just enough, so all in all, a game week that started off pretty terribly, what with the wind, rain and cancelled DJs, actually turned out to be a somewhat satisfying game week for me, so drum roll please. Luca Meisel, an Austrian league player, so kind of aligns with my Hartberg stack. A quick check of him on Sorare data and we can see his rare is around that 0.035 Ethereum mark, so we will chuck that down on the spreadsheet along with our Ethereum reward from this game week. And checking his recent So5 scores, they're nothing special. He has been getting a bit more game time recently, so we could see his value go up a bit if he keeps playing in future game weeks. Overall, only a £70 card, so nothing amazing, but hey, beggars cannot be choosers and all of that. A free £70 added to the club is a free £70 added to the club, so no complaints from me. Can't expect too much from a tier 3 reward. So moving on to game week 247, we had a similar team to game week 245. Park Squillard and Shiny Ashiki all came off the bench to get some average scores, but the game week was saved by Rommel Kyoto, my captain, as he started up top for Montreal. He bagged a goal and an assist to get a very respectable score in Gas 4, just enough to again hit that first threshold. Benchwarmers FC this time coming through for me as we add an additional 0.01 Ethereum to the club here. Now let's take a look at my teams for game week 248. The MLS is back, baby, and to kick it off there is a special weekly requiring 3 MLS players. I could have stuck Michael Nelson in net, but I don't think he will start, so I've gone with Rennie Sweet and Zian Fleming as my 2 non-MLS players, with Mensa, Kyoto and Benji Mikel filling the gaps. Only 76 prizes for this special weekly and the managers are piling up, so it will be tough, but fuck it, we'll see how it goes. I still have enough players to field my other rare teams. In Gas 4 we've got the AZ lads with a tough game against Fire Nord, vying for those thresholds. We've then got the Hartberg stack in Challenger. Will be tough to win a reward with a common in goal, but hey, we will see what happens, you never know. And then with the return return of the MLS, I've got an America squad entering this week as well. Fairly happy with the lineup. Galice is obviously a great keeper, and I'm hoping Morgan and Dominguez have good introductions at their new teams. And then I've even got some fuck off reject squad in All-Star Pro this week. Going to be almost impossible to win a reward with this team. As I said, Nelson isn't likely to start. Same with Golner, Acosta and Niezgoda. They're all likely to be on the bench as well, I imagine, but hey, fuck it, these players would just be sat in training anyway, so no harm sticking them in here and seeing what they can do. Who knows, maybe this time next week you'll be seeing a beautiful clickbait YouTube title about how I won the All-Star Pro Division. But probably not. So let's take a quick look at my limited teams as well. We've got shit going on everywhere here. A bit of a makeshift lineup in All-Star with players from across the globe. In the champion bracket, I'm then going for the classic Wolfsburg-Frankfurt combination. Frankfurt have Bayern this week, so it will be a tough one to hit the rewards here, but we will see if the gents can smash out some good scores in the Bundesliga. Challenger, we've got the tried and true Hartberg stack. Not had the best return to the Austrian league, and a tough game against Sturm Graz, who are third in the league, but hopefully they can pull off a result here. And then in the America bracket, I've gone for Hamid, Pineda, Remedi, Balco and Felipe Mora captaining. Definitely a team that can push for the rewards if everyone plays. Obviously the first game of a new season is a bit of an unknown, what with new players and new plans and such, but hey, I've got lots of teams out this week, so I will be, pretty fucking disappointed if I don't return with a few rewards here and there, even if they are shitty tier 3 limited cards, so fingers crossed. And a quick update on some of the trades happening in the club. As you've seen from the Gameweek reviews, I've recently bought a few rares, Fleming, Guillard, Sunlightner, as well as a Cecilio Dominguez for 0.14 Ethereum heading into the MLS season. I personally think he could be in for a decent season with FC Austin, so I got him as another forward option for the account. I then traded on a few limiteds. I got some Fortuna Sitar limiteds into the club, such as Anga and St. John's, and then I sold Niezgoda and Sunlightner for minor profits. Only very minor profits, but the old saying stays true, every bit of profit helps, and it builds up the value of the club, which is why I also sold my Delbridge rare. The Ethereum from him can go back into the club to be better used elsewhere, as I don't run any Asia teams, so quite happy to get over £100 for him. And yeah, looking forward to the MLS starting, seeing which of my players perform, who I can perhaps sell on and get some Ethereum back into the account for. The club is sitting in a healthy profit right now with a decent amount of cards in the portfolio that I can look to sell on in the future. So here is to a good weekend of SO5 results so I can increase this even further. And of course, thanks for watching and all of that jazz. Do subscribe for more top tier content in the future. The more people that subscribe, the more chance I have of getting some of that sweet YouTube money, and money's nice. It helps in supporting my crippling addiction to heroin. So rare. My crippling addiction to so rare. So yeah, catch you next time.